Hi, this is step 4 of stage 3. So open, open. Within this step, we're going to do some swept blend massing, and we're going to dissolve some massing, and we're going to also do spline through points. So we're going to cut some voids with the spline point tool. Okay, so to get started, I'd like you to go to the massing and site tab, and again, in place mass. Same warning as before, just press close. Mask number 1, that's absolutely fine. And then the user interface will go grey. And if we go to the top view of our view cube and zoom in around about here, what we're going to do is draw a line about 80 meters long. So we choose the line tool. User interface will go green. Currently says the placement is not associated. Well, why don't we just shove that on number 1 for now? And draw a line that's 80 meters. You can write 80 on your keyboard and then click so it's exact. And once you've done that, if it's an aligned chain, you need to press escape twice to exit the command. And if we rotate our 3D view so we can see it pretty much like this. Once you've done that, what we're going to do is go up to the draw section and select point element. Point element. Now what this is, once you select the tool, user interface will go green. What this is pretty much a working plane on a point. So if we put it here and then press the escape key once, and then if you hover over your point and then select it, you notice that we've created a reference plane. So now that that's actually set, and as soon as you select it, user interface goes green, so it automatically knows that we're using that reference point. So now what we want to do is draw a rectangle. So we go up to our draw section and choose rectangle, and we click on the point, and we pretty much want it to be 8 by 20, so 8 high and 20 long, which is there. Once you do that, press the escape key twice so nothing is selected, and then we click on our path line. And then with the control key, we click our profile, and right at the top, we press create form. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to edit the path that we did with a straight line. We're now going to make it a spline with pretty much 2 curves. So we select that little line there, and then right at the very top, we go edit profile. We'll go into a sketch mode. The user interface change green, and our path is red. So we press delete on that path. We go up to the very top in our draw tool and choose the spline tool, and we're going to do pretty much 2 curves. So from each endpoint. So 1, 2, 3, and then endpoint 4. And then once you've done that, press escape twice to enter the command, and then press the green tick, and you'll notice that we have a nice curvy oblong. Clicking negative space so nothing is selected, and just like I've shown you before 3 or 4 times, we're going to make it X-ray so we can see the end profile. So if we select the top face, right at the very top, X-ray, you can see both of our profiles now at both ends. What we're going to do is add 2 more profiles. So we go right up to the top, add profile, put one about here, and add profile again, and put one about here. Once you've done that, press escape twice. And to jazz up our design just a little bit more, we're going to edit these profiles. So if we just get a good view, and if we tab on that rectangle, you can see right at the top, edit profile. User interface goes green, and you can see our red lines. Now if we select the whole thing and use the rotate tool, and if we press spacebar, and if we place it pretty much about 1/3 in from the right, and then rotate it at the other end, this end point here, if we go up maybe about 15 degrees, you can type in 15 on your keyboard, there you go, that's done. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the bottom edge, because you can see it now goes past our pivot point. So if we draw a line from here to here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut and trim. So cut, trim, cut, trim. So it looks like that, and then press the green tick. And you'll see that our profile and our geometry has changed. We can do exactly the same on the other profile. So if you click in negative space, hover over this line, then tab until you find it, Again, edit profile, user interface going green, but this time we're going to rotate it from the other side. So we select all of it, go to the rotate tool, again about 1/3 in, but from the left to right, about here. Then we're going to rotate it about 15 again, so you can type 15 on your keyboard, so it looks like that. And we're going to edit the profile just a little bit by drawing a line pretty much about there. And then trim extend. And then green tick. And you will see exactly what we've done. Quite cool, really. Click in negative space so nothing is selected. And then to finish the command, go up to the green tick and you'll see our completed mass. Quite cool. Right, the next thing we're going to do is work on this building, and it's quite simple and quite cool. So we select our building, edit mass, so we're in a grey user face at the moment, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to cut a nice sweep around this with 4 points. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to use Spline Through Points tool. So once you select that, I want you to click at this bottom point, then about 1/3 up on this face, and then I want you to go to the other face at the back, about 2/3 up, and then click on the same face at the top corner there. So it's, and then once you've done that, press escape twice to exit the command. So just to remind you, 2 points on this face and 2 points on the other face. Okay, from here I'd like you to zoom in to the bottom so you can see the point. Now, depending on how you place this point will now dictate the reference plane that we're going to follow. So what I want you to do is to select the reference point, and you will either have a reference plane that looks like mine or currently is on this face following the path. We want it to follow the path. So with it selected, if you pick host and then select this face, and then with the move tool, move it down to the bottom corner. So what you're wanting to do is have the working plane like that angle. It can be a little bit fiddly, but the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to do pretty much a triangle that cuts this building. So I know that was a little bit fiddly, but try and get it to look like that. And once you've done that, we're going to now go up to the very top in the draw section and circumscribe polygon, select it, and at the very top make sure that you have 3 sides, and then select the polygon point, draw a triangle so it's pretty much like this. Once you've done that, press escape twice. Now if we're lucky, this triangle along this path should cut the geometry of this cube. Now sometimes it doesn't work because the points can intersect in themselves as they go around the path itself. So you might have to do a couple of tries. At guessing, I'm thinking this might be a little bit big. So if I grab my 2 points and then bring it down and bring these 2 points in here to make it a little bit smaller, that should, in theory, help with the cutting of the geometry. Okay, let's see if it works. Let's give it a try and see if it cuts this void. So we select our path, and with the control key on your keyboard, select the triangle. So both things are selected. Right at the top, we're going to void form. So press that button. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, don't forget that even though I'm happy with this design, and you may not be, you can still edit it because we haven't actually pressed the green tick at the top. So if you wanted to, you could hover over here and wait until you find the path. There it is. So I found it, and we can edit the profile. And what we do, it was orange, and the reason why it's orange is because we now need to select what part we're going to edit. So I could select this part here. The user interface would go green, the profile will go red, and obviously you can select points and move them around. So let's have a look at this point here. Let's move it up so it's maybe there. Let's have a look what that looks like. Yeah, that could be fine. Green tick, negative space, and it's done more of a cut in the building and more of a crazy shape. Again, you can do this everywhere. You can muck around with it, you know, pull and pull, the world is your oyster, so to speak. Okay, so that completes this stage. Press the green tick. There we go. Now we're completed. You know what to do. Press the close button and do not save, and we'll see you in the next one.